y'all. It's me, the Taku, and welcome in. It is time for us to get started on our nightly rogue trader. I've been falling asleep all day, so my hope is that I'll stay awake, but I've been falling asleep all day, so we'll see. I think it was the amount of sugar I had yesterday is just like causing my energy to go down, which is funny because I just started drinking a root beer. So, you know, just like yesterday, one of two things is going to happen. The root beer is either going to wake me up, I'm going to be wide awake and focused, or I'm going to crash. It's one or the other. Currently, I'm like kind of crashing, but it's fine. We'll get through it. And if I suddenly feel like I can't get through it, I'll just peace out, I guess. But right now, we're fine. So that's all. Oh. Nah, I don't need to talk to you. Ravor, or whatever your name is. No one cares. Okay. When you approach, Vijdis pulls away from fine-tuning another Vox and bows her head. Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Captain, I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. My throat's kind of itchy today. I've been, like, teetering on being sick, I feel like. Like, I'm not quite sick yet, but I feel like I've just been, like, teetering on it. Like, this morning I had, like a very light headache. No energy, just didn't feel super great, but I had some things scheduled today. I had some stuff scheduled that I had to do for work. I scheduled it myself, and I asked someone from my team to help me out with it. And if I called in sick, which I probably normally would have, if I called in sick, then he would be left by himself to deal with the massive task that I asked his help with. So I didn't want to leave him hanging, so I went to work anyways. But yeah, my throat itches today, and I've been talking kind of silent today. I don't know why. Like, my enunciation, my volume is just not good today. I don't know what it is. I feel like I always say these things like, oh, my voice is whatever today, but and then I end up finding out it doesn't even matter. My voice was normal. The little fluctuations in my voice, I can tell. I don't... If I hear my own voice, I can't tell. But as my own person, I can tell. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't even matter. We're gonna go do the thing. I think ultimately we want to go to Ryokan Minors, so let's go check that out. We have not scanned it yet. I don't know how to scan it. But we have the quests of New Blood, Spirit, Machine Spirit Keeper, and Land on Ryokan Minors. So let's just go take a look. I have a vague recollection of thinking of going here last time we played on Saturday, so I think that's what we'll do today. Captain, there is some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the ward room, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Okay. Interesting random detour, but alright. Let's hear it. What's up, Cassia? Nice bow.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
The Lady Navigator is engrossed in perusing the dusty tomes, which appear to have been neglected by the other officers, be it because of sloth or dullness of mind. When you walk closer, Cassia looks up at you, starts, and hides a weathered book behind her back. Welcome into Grizz. Never fear, Grizz is here. Good to see ya. How are you today, Grizz? Told you I would be. So true. I remember this. Welcome back. Good to see you, Grizz. How are you doing today? Are you excited for Rogue Trader bedtime stories. I'm slowly getting through this game, but it's really fun. It's really fun. Let's see. But yeah, feel free to let me know how you're doing. Oh, welcome into Appy as well. Grizz says, I'm doing great. And yes. Yes. Oh, ready for Rogue Trader bedtime story. Ah, yes. Good. Oh, did you have a conversation with your roommate and his wife about the mess? Did you tell them to clean? Or is that, I feel like that's like at least 2 hours worth of cleaning. That was wild. But yeah, welcome in, Appy. How are you? How art thou, Appy-chan? Point at the book in Cassia's hands. I see you are fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves. And I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
Cassia carefully shows you the book, which turns out to be a collection of works by the Canadian naval commander and poet, Alias Quent.
Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Cassia gently brushes the dust off the cover with her thin, clawed hand, her eyes filling with longing after reminiscing about her lost home. And Appy is tired, been falling asleep like 3 a.m. lately. Why is that, Appy? Why going to sleep so late? I would have called in sick if I went to sleep that late. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. And Kant, they are on their honeymoon. Ah, that's right. They got married recently, huh? Yeah. Understandable. Very understandable. And hot. The room is hot. That's the one thing. I really don't miss that. Summer months, or like June, July. Dude, it's so hot. Like, I remember finishing Tears of the Kingdom, and I remember I was getting a headache during the finale of Tears of the Kingdom stream because it was like 95 degrees in my room. Oh, welcome back to K Scott, and thank you so much for the resub. Woo! Subiversary, let's go! Thank you so much. And thank you again for all the gifted last time. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back, K Scott. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope yoga goes well. I hope you have fun with us as we explore more of Rogue Trader. Appy says, if I open up my window, the birds start chirping by my room by the time the room cools down. I feel ya. I absolutely feel ya. You know... Oh, I should have given you my neck fan. The neck fan is a game changer. I don't even have a use for it anymore, but... Well, I guess I could... No, I could still use it, I guess. But anyways, I don't know if I showed you my neck fan, but it's like a... You know, like the big headphones? It's like wearing big headphones around your neck, except they blast air up to your head. And you'd think that it wouldn't help very much, but it actually helps quite a bit. It feels really good. Neck fan's not the issue. I mean, yeah, it's not like... It doesn't solve everything, but it makes it, like, a little bit cooler. Hold on. Steak for dinner. Yeah, steak for dinner. Anywho, I didn't think that dinner would be ready this quick. I thought it would be another 2 hours, but here we are. Very nice. But yes, that is right. So true, K. Scott. Well, my back gets sweaty as I lay down. Also understandable. I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you. I cannot think of a single solution to that problem. Genuinely. Actually, I can think of a solution, but it's not my best idea. I'll explain in a moment. K. Scott says, can you receive raids now? I believe I can. I'm like 99% sure I can. I'm not sure what happened last time, but I think I can. And sweet. Thank you, K. Scott. If you're thinking of getting someone to raid me, I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. But, okay, guys, hear me out, okay? Listen here. Here's my excellent plan to get rid of Appy's back sweat. You ready? Picture this. A rope hammock. Right? A hammock made of ropes. Appy suspended in the air. And there's just like a fan underneath him. You know? Now, the ropes will be uncomfortable. Maybe a little rope burn. The ropes will definitely be uncomfortable, but at least it won't be hot anymore, you know? See what I'm saying? Not bad, I think. Or maybe, you know how there's like heating pads? Maybe there's like a cold pad that you can use. I don't know how that would work, but you know. That's for the scientists to figure out. I don't know how that would work. Anyways, in case Scott's just wondering, already. But yeah, major rope burn though, but it's fine. You just reminded me I was supposed to change the sheets tonight. How often do you guys change sheets? Because at my old apartment, I used to change it whenever it felt kind of greasy. It'd be like once every like 3 weeks. The pillowcase I would change like every 3 days though. But the actual like mattress sheet would be like once every 3 weeks or something. I don't know. Anyways, currently it's like once a week, but before it was like once every 3. K. Scott says, I'm attempting to do it once a week. That way, if I forget, it doesn't take too long. Ah, yes. Once a week is a good amount of time. I mean, I guess it depends how hot it is. With my old apartment, it wasn't... Most of the time, it wasn't too hot, so I didn't sweat a whole lot, so it didn't get greasy very quick. But nowadays, everything is hot and humid, so I gotta change the sheets all the time. Well, yeah, it is what it is. Let me finish up this dialogue, and then I'll put on a video and we can eat. Real quick. Hey, Scott says, did you hear the monkeys have cleaner beds than we do? Because they make new beds for themselves each night? Really? What do they make the bed out of? Like, straw? I haven't been to a zoo in a long time. I don't know how they make their own beds. Leaves? Ah. Good strategy. Good strategy. Don't know if it's a certain type of monkey or not. I don't know. I am very ignorant about the animal kingdom. But no, I believe it. I believe it. I'm not even gonna bother fact checking. I trust, I believe. In my heart, I know it to be true. Okay. Let's see. The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Cassia's response is reserved and pointedly decorous, clearly intended to create a distance between you. Your only attendant is your valet from Urak 5. Do my servants not measure up to your standards?
No. It is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
She nods genially to her taciturn servant. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators often becomes the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising, then, that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. I hope that you have had ample time to calm yourself in your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting.
Cassia tosses her head back and straightens.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying? You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
After an awkward silence, Cassia frowns and purses her lips.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Frightened by her own words, Cassia covers her mouth, pales, blushes, then pales again, then hides her face behind the cascade of her snow-white hair. This one's pretty strong. Whoa, man. You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad, and it is just as natural to share them with others.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
The primness of her expression cracks, revealing a great weariness beneath. She places a hand on her breastplate.
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls, and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
Sorry, this conversation's a lot longer than I thought. So I'm trying to stuff food in my face while she's talking. Let's see. Oh. You can say, I would rather we find amusement elsewhere, Perhaps in the privacy of my chambers. That is wild. This one's also crazy. What I find childish is your manner of addressing me as if I were your friend, and your mistaken belief that anyone here would be interested in hearing about your emotional turmoil. That's so wild. This one is, come to my bedroom. This one is, Lamau, I'm not your friend and nobody cares. That is insane. Let's see. I understand what you are going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Now, realistically, they probably all left because they're afraid of her. I shouldn't say that, but that's probably why. Dude, the thirst on this man is insane. If I may be so bold as to presume my subjects must have found themselves overcome by your rare beauty, as I have. Insane. Dude, another bedroom one. Is it so bad that we are enjoying each other's company, or would you prefer to proceed straight to my chambers? Yow. Let's see. Perhaps my people did not wish to disturb you.
Or because my presence offends them. Then I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.
Sorry, tonight's dinner is steak, so it's kind of hard to eat quickly. With an expression of courteous aloofness on her face, Cassia offers you a curt nod. Okay. Thank you for your curt nod. Very cool. I don't remember ever seeing this room before. What the hell is this? Oh no, this is that room that we had that fight in. Man, it's been so long since we had the fight, huh? And I guess everything is prepared now, huh? Oh shoot. I forgot to open up my other thing. Okay, that's good. Alrighty. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna eat this as quick as I possibly can. In the meantime, I'm gonna put on a video for you guys, so you guys have something to watch. But I will be right back. What is this? Oh, no, never mind. Okay, Okay, I don't know what's in this, but we're just gonna, here we go. Alright, I'll be right back.
Damn.
Okay. BRB.
An intricately decorated clock with 2 recesses on the front. We can just... Oh. Let's just sell it. Yep. And we'll do the same thing here. And this chalice is kind of I always fall for that. Oh, please. I can't move! Oh, what the hell? Just so happened to drop an herb. Nice. Damn. Lip Rouge? Or Rouge? Nasty. Okay. Oh. Missed some resources. But there we go. It's that easy. This game is that easy. Okay, let's keep it moving, I guess.
Ashley, no time to lose.
I can't believe there's still like 3 chapters left. We still got a ways to go. Also, wasn't I supposed to receive backup like a long time ago? Like a helicopter is supposed to come pick me up, but like nothing has arrived for some reason. Okay, let me heal up. Okay. But yeah, I feel like I was supposed to get backup a long time ago.
Where do you think you're taking her?
I would have... Oh, you're still here. I thought you might have left, but all right. Feel free to go. Thank you for joining tonight. And there's going to be Final Fantasy tomorrow, if that interests you at all. Otherwise, have a wonderful night. Thanks for joining, and I'm on most nights, so keep a lookout. All right, good night, good night, good night. You're gonna try and come more often. Nice, nice. Okay, I was like, I wasn't talking too much because I was like, oh, surely no one's here anymore, so I can just like chill. But anyway, yeah, feel free to come more often. I always enjoy the company.
I wonder who that was that I was talking to. I have no idea.
Okay, let's see.
No idea who that could have been.
What do we have to do?
Too bad I didn't say.
Are we in a new chapter? I'm not sure. I think we're good for this room. I could swear I hear something. I guess not. Housekeeper's memo, number 1. I have failed you, my lord. I was unable to fulfill your final commandment and keep the boy from the path of wickedness. I caught a glimpse of Master Ramon's evil temperament during his younger years. When he discovered a servant mocked him by uttering Pulgarcito behind his back, he summoned her to his private chambers. After forcing her to kneel before him, Ramon doused her face with a vial of vitriol he pulled out of his pocket. The young master watched with glee when the servant writhed in agony as the skin melted from her face. His twisted grin still haunts my dreams to this very day. As time passed, Ramon's treachery only deepened, and that infernal cult soon learned they could prey upon his vulnerable heart. Curse the fiends. They've manipulated Master Ramon and turned him into their puppet. Worst of all, they've managed to use him to unleash Las Plagas that the Salazar family has fought so long and hard to keep sealed away. Sorry, I had to burp. Worst of all, they've managed to use him to unleash Las Plagas that the Salazar family has fought so long and hard to keep sealed away. Diego, rest assured, I intend to watch over Master Ramon until the very end, whatever fate may befall us. As a faithful servant of the Salazar family since birth, it is my duty and my penance to you. I've never really understood the, oh shoot, I forgot to do that. Damn, I keep forgetting all the requests today, huh? Damn, I failed all 3. That's rough. That is super rough. I don't know why, but I've been remembering to like do all the requests, but just today, I guess I've just been out of it or something. I don't know. I haven't done all the requests. That's sad.
Perfect. Won't have to swim after all.
But it does give me an excuse to play the game again, which I was very likely going to do anyway, so. For a speed run, anyways. Speed run, new weapons, new skin, or whatever. So, not a total loss.
Welcome
Not a
in,
total
Crusader.
loss. Plus, it's bonus content anyways.
I'll get back to Rogue Trader in a moment. I'm trying to finish my dinner, but I'll be another like 5 minutes or so. I'm still eating.
Damn it.
And I have my mic muted. This is an old VOD.
Man, we're blazing through to the end, huh? We are getting real close to the end.
You look like you've got something to say.
I have something to ask you. But I don't think I'll get a straight answer. Raccoon City. You know, after the incident, the world changed. Try to save one person, 100 others die. I guess I changed too.
You? Leon S. Kennedy. You haven't changed. You just think you have.
So here's my question. Have you changed, Ada? Or are you just trying to use me again?
What do you think? We're
Yes. For sure, yes.
here. Don't think too hard, handsome. See you later.
Story of my life.
Leon's like, are you gonna use me again? It's like, bro. What did you expect? I wonder if Ada's gonna use me. She's been using me this whole time, but I wonder if she'll do it again. What is this? Metal Gear? Come on. What is this? Why is there...
Spotlights. Let's avoid those.
Where the hell are we?
Ashley. There you are.
They're still infected, so I guess we're clear to shoot.
Look at all these busy bees. Better watch my step if I don't want to get stung.
So quippy. This is a pretty well modeled place. I wonder if this was in the original RE4.
Need to hurry.
You got that right, my man. Okay. Let's get a move on. What is... No? No. Oh! Oh, it's not moving. Very nice of them to make it so very apparent where the turret's looking. Oh, what? I see. I was about to say it was nice of them to put an off switch too, but... Oh.
I have some new goods that might interest you. Welcome. I got something new for you.
Nice. Can you imagine the merchant?
That cash in your pocket or your life.
The merchant sees us leaving, hops in his own thing.
Your valuables won't do you much good in the grave.
Let's get rid of this. Yeah.
Stranger. Ooh, I'll pay a pretty penny for that.
I kind of want this, but the case upgrade seems more important to me.
I guarantee it.
I think I'll get this.
Bigger is better, as they say. Or at least I thought so when I was a lad.
Ah!
I'll buy almost anything.
Awkward.
A deal well struck.
You gotta get that gun. It has killer in the name. Welcome, Love Shack. But
That
yeah,
cash in your pocket or your life.
I decided, I was like, it was either between the higher case or the new gun, and I was like, surely the new gun, right? Let me see if I can sell another treasure. Ah. Nice. Think I can stealth my way through. He's not looking, right? We're good. All my Assassin's Creed Unity training has prepared me for this moment. This man's squatting. Okay. Guess we're good over here.
Alrighty. Sorry about the detour, but I am back. We are no longer eating. I hope I'm looking in the right direction. Yep. Okay. We're back. Back to real content. Should I make this logo bigger? Kind of rhetorical. Kind of not. It just gets kind of like... There we go. Like, fuzzy looking when it's too small. Okay. Anyways. We're back. So we just finished talking to Cassia. Respectfully, not sexual harassment by any means. And now we're heading out, I guess? Yeah, to the Void Ship Bridge. Let's get out of here. We have a planet to explore. And currently, we're getting sidetracked with talking to people in the ship. Why is it even called a bridge? That's what I want to know. It's not a bridge, man. It's like a command center or something. Anyways, on to Ryokan Minoris. But yeah, welcome into Crusader. Food does sound good right about now. I had so much to eat. I had a steak. I had steak and rice. It was so much food. Captain, sorry to disturb you. Vidge just pauses, as if listening to something. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Berzerian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Back to the bridge we go. What? What? I'm just trying to go to a planet, man. Yes. What do you want, simple peon? The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger. Abelard's voice the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a high-born brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. The young woman standing before you. What? The young woman standing before Abelard strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Captain, Lieutenant Avrilla Vent, requesting permission to speak. The Vent falls silent and then adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I'm sorry, Captain. I thought that drastic times called for drastic measures, Vent exclaims hotly. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the worker strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced that the step is unwarranted, and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Vent is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sourback, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Versarion, and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Vent reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart, but she has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you. How did all this start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. Didn't I tell someone to keep an amulet? I bet that's that guy. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head. There's an insurrection in the making aboard my ship and no one has informed me? I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rule across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we were still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Abelard scoffs. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. But on the ship, the word of the captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. I'm sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the captain to break up brawls in the mess room. I have already given you the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means of ignoring the problem, not solving it. So where does Seneschal Versarion come into all this? I shall explain, Abelard intones grimly. I beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valancius will find refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Versarion. Arrests, interrogations. Oh. I was like, who's Versarion? You mean Abelard? Okay. Whoops. Anyways, you were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Versarion. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to the brink, the vent says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into all-out insurrection, but when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Crusader says, how interesting. I had to deal with the same uprising before taking on a new navigator. I wonder how you shall deal with this. Thank you, Crusader. I'm gonna crush him. I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Because I see both sides. I do think that Abelard is pretty punishing to the people on the lower decks. More than... Hold on. Sorry. So what was I saying? So I understand both sides. I think that Abelard. Okay, let's talk about Vent first. So Vent, I feel, is where she's coming from is understandable. You know, from her perspective, there's an uprising happening. There's mass punishments. People are upset, and now those people are gonna die because they're upset. I get it, and she wants to prevent that from happening. And a part of me agrees with her and disagrees with Abelard, because I feel that I do think that mass punishment for entire sectors, arrests and interrogations, is way too heavy-handed. But at the same time, Abelard was not born yesterday. Abelard has been the Seneschal for a long time. He would understand he would understand what needs to be done to get the ship in order far more than I would, I feel. I don't agree with his methods, but to me, it's like, I don't agree with what he's doing, but at the same time, I feel like it's one of those, like, don't fix so it's not broken kind of things. Where, yeah, I don't agree with what he's doing, but what he's doing is clearly working because the ship is still standing, you know? And how wise. Thank you, Crusade. So I guess it's hard, because I do think that Abelard's... To me, it's a question between... It's a debate between what's... To me, Vent is morally good, but questionably gets the job done. Abelard, I feel, in this scenario, is morally bad, but definitely gets the job done. So it's kind of tough, because I mean, in real life, it's like I don't really support I don't support authoritarianism, if that's the right word. I don't think that people should be killed for protesting, you know? But at the same time, it's like, this isn't the real world. This is Warhammer 40k, you know? I don't need to apply real world morals to my video game about fighting aliens, you know what I mean? So it's a little tough. But yes, Crusader says morally good but naive on how to go about it. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, I agree with Vent. I don't necessarily agree that not squishing the rebellion is gonna get results, you know? Abelard desires the best, but may only know the more brutally effective way. I think this is true, but it's hard to say how Abelard got to this point. You know, it could be the case that he had tried in the past to be nice, and over time found out that nice doesn't work. Being heavy-handed and having mass punishments and killing rebellions, I think. It could be the case that he slowly got to that point and then only realized later on that violence is the answer, right? In which case I'd be like, okay, I understand how you got to this conclusion, you know? You're trying to do what's good, but ultimately you found that being nice to people isn't working, right? I can understand how, from that perspective, maybe it makes sense that he got there. But it could also be, like you were saying, desires the best, but may only know brutally effective ways. It could also be the case that he just doesn't care. Maybe he was always brutal and never bothered to try to be nice. It's hard to say. I'm not sure. But it is kind of tough to navigate this. Let me see what my options are. Abelard, what do you have to say to all this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. What? What? Big words. If you wish to confirm the... I'm trying to think of a substitute word. If you wish to confirm whether I was right by my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way, you will stop the uprising before it begins. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now, more besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the Arch enemy. This is a little ignorant. I mean, it's possible, but just being like, oh, they're laborers, they're assisting the cultists and minions, that's a little... That's a little ill-informed, I feel. Morally correct behavior or righteous action. Ah! Thank you, Crusader. See. Thank you. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst, that means drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. We have handled the workers of Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Interesting. Master-at-Arms, the ship's enforcers report to you, and yet you seem hesitant to provide your own perspective. Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command and realize it is not within my right to challenge my superiors. How do you pronounce this? Sourback? I think it's Sourback. Bows her head in Abelard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips. That being said, while I entirely share Master Bazarian's opinion on what fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Mistress Sourback, I see you have decided to follow the lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior does you no credit. Sourback, explain yourself. The ship's regulations state that the Master-at-Arms is responsible for resolving all matters related to the ship's enforcers, and yet it is no secret that the Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. Those enforcers and officers whom he has deemed particularly promising are at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. I cannot deny Master Rosarian's experience and insight. The Seneschal has a record for fostering students who indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate supervisor encourages disregard for hierarchy among your lordship's servants. Today, an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order from the Master-at-Arms that they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow, they will go to the captain to object to the Seneschal's order. I notice a pattern in these actions. Abelard, do you wish to respond? Mistress Sourback, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior? Or one where I would overrule their order? Or show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal, for there have been no cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone were to claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard have always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. What? Okay. I was very much on the side of Sourback for a moment. Well, okay, maybe not on Sourback's side, but I could understand what they were saying about like, or where was it? Extending patronage over the head of their immediate supervisor encourages disregard for hierarchy. I can understand that in the hierarchy, the Seneschal conversing with the workers makes it seem like it's just okay to go above their supervisor's head. I can understand what Sourback's saying about that. But Sourback makes it seem like the Seneschal is giving some level of favoritism, which I guess Sourback defines favoritism as like talking to them at all. And to me, that's something I don't agree with. You know? To say that a simple show of attention is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance. Just conversing with someone lower in the chain of command, to me, is not... That is not... not enough of a problem, in my opinion. I do understand what they're saying, but I don't think I agree with that. Grizz says, hee hee, my tummy hurts. It's time to use the dude wipes. It's time for the dude wipes. Dude, I kind of wish my tummy hurts. I haven't taken a dump for like several days now. I think the last time I did was on Friday. Anyways, that you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officer's deck handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. It fills those you set apart with ambition and audacity, makes them stand out among the rest. Enforcers are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else. That is the sole foundation of order. I don't know, like, on a spectrum of, like... I don't know what kind of spectrum this would be, but, like, a spectrum of, like, full law abidance versus casual, I guess. This one's, like... This one's all the way at the end of some spectrum of just, like, no room for friendliness among the crew. Crusader says, Proprietor, the system of hierarchy. You are correct with your belief of her assumption, meaning giving a quick glance to someone you know, to someone lower in rank means they act up. And oh, homie, you should be going like every other day. Ah! You see, Crusader. Hoop lore is unfortunately very common on this channel. I have said that I banned it multiple times. It keeps coming back up. But I'll have you know, my frequency is really bad. It used to be every like 3 to 4 days. Now it's about every 2. The problem is the weekend. The weekend really screws me up. I don't know what it is about the weekend, but like, I just don't go all weekend. I have to go on like a work night. I don't know why. Anyways, oh, I should pour some Miralax, actually. That's what I should do. Anywho, Crusader says, she is definitely full dogmatic, believing that everything should be strict. Like, I think, I agree. Definitely full dogmatic, but I don't necessarily agree with full dogmatic. I do think that the chain of command is important. Even at work, I think the chain of command is important. However, I don't... This is like the farthest dogmatic that you could possibly be, I feel. You know, it's like, yeah, if the Seneschal was like befriending the peons, I'd be like, okay, I kind of see what your point is, but just talking to them is not, you know, looking at them is not, Lieutenant Vent, would you say that the Seneschal has singled you out from your peers in any way? Captain, I swear that Seneschal Viserion has never granted me any privileges, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotions. Although, he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place. He has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him. And while not all my fellows receive such attention, I know of at least a dozen fine officers whom the Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure that they continue to strive. Honestly, yeah, after Vent speaking, I'm 100% on Abelard's side. I don't agree with Sourback at all. This makes sense to me. Because to me, the Seneschal keeping an eye on who is the best, who has the most potential, and moving them up the ladder, I like that. Because, yeah, we could leave that in the hands of the workers, but to an extent it is still in the hands of the workers, I feel. But knowing that Abelard has been facilitating the gifted moving up, that's something that I like. And I think that's important to keep. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with Abelard that he should be doing this. Absolutely. To prepare new generations of the dynasty's servants, to instruct them, and to separate those with potential from those who have exhausted it. That is my duty as Seneschal. This ship has bays worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards whom I have raised personally. By the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now was my student at one point. I see. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. This guy. Everybody's pretty cool. I guess I'm to thank for that, huh? Dude. Okay, well. I feel like these are two separate issues, though. The thing about Abelard talking to the peons and navigating that, to me, that's a separate non-issue. That's like a separate topic. There's like two topics happening. There's one about Abelard just like getting ready to smoke an uprising on one hand, and then on the other hand you have like, oh, Abelard talks to the lower deck. It's like, okay. only one of them's an issue, which is the Abelard trying to kill the people of the uprising. That's kind of an issue, but him talking to the lower deck is not an issue. That was just that whole tangent. I don't agree at all. That's a complete non-issue. That whatever. Anyway, but yeah, you remind me of an important point. I gotta take my Miralax. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna prepare my Miralax. BRB. Actually, no, yeah, I should take my break right now. Hold on. I'll be right back. Thank you, Crusader. I see the beasts. There's too many of them. Ah! Very nice, very nice. I drew that in Microsoft Paint one day. I don't remember why, but that's been on the channel for a long time. Anywho, I've made it. The diarrhea concoction. Now, don't try this at home, but if I ever need to just expel everything, the mix is a cup of prune juice and a normal serving of Miralax. The combo together has like a 40% chance of diarrhea. Don't try it at home. I do this, but it's not healthy. Anyways, all right, let's get back to it. Let's see. I am certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions for myself. Don't preserve you, Captain. I thank you for your support. Abelard grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric. But please yourself, Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led to your and the Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to Depot 4 myself and see to the expedient resolution of this incident. Oh no. Oh, they're letting me choose party members. The game's like, yeah, if this blows up in your face, you might need some party members. Yeah, take them all. Anywho. Appy's disgusted. It works, man. Trust me. It works. I don't recommend anyone do it, but it technically works. Okay. Here we are. The lower decks. Oh. Hey, it's Rosarian. Take that, scum. Look whose fault it is. This is all his fault. All of it. Did he just throw acid on Abelard? It's hot. Isn't it? I'm in the AC right now. I'm gonna jinx myself into breaking my AC, but I agree. It is hot. Without the AC, dude, I was sweating, man. Oh, when I was eating my dinner earlier, it was steak for dinner. It was so hot. I turned the AC off because the AC was like blasting onto the table where I had my food. So I didn't want my steak to get cold, so I turned the AC off. I was like sweating while I was eating. It's so hot. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture. And a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. It really is amazing to me how all the problems that we're seeing in this quest are all like parallels to current problems. How they're reflecting real world events as we speak. What? Oh, what the heck? Oh, interesting. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this. Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation material. This must be where the workers sleep between shifts. Kind of a well-kept bed for 40k. I like how this guy is called... Oh, these three guys are called Lower Deck Rabble.
Is there money to be made?
But Appy laughs. Yeah, I'm trying... A part of me is like, oh, I could talk politics. I don't really want to talk politics.
I still do
Huge-
not see our purpose in
Huge
coming here.
pipes, the arteries of the ship, run
Relax,
through...
old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
Huge pipes, the arteries of the ship, run through many bays, delivering air, water, heat, and the propulsive force of steam. Oh. Sarback inventor over here. This is probably where I have to go if they're standing here already. But this looks like a fighting area if I've ever seen one. Let's go see what... Oh. Okay, I didn't mean to run by myself, but... What's behind this door? What? Why are they frenzied? Dare I explore? Oops, I didn't... Open the door again, please. I didn't mean to do that. Thank you. Greetings, your graces. There's no, uprising happening back here, is there? You wouldn't uprise against a rogue trader, would you? I'm gonna take your stuff. Hope you don't mind. Inside the box, a string of scratched letters runs along the edge. Different first names, but the same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down in the family from generation to generation. What is the point of this back room?
I always keep my options open.
I always keep my options open. I always keep my options open. Alright. What do you guys got to say? I know it's going to be something whack, I'm just waiting for it. The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Avrilla Vent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms, Jocasta Sourback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached boiling point. Didn't I walk with you guys? How are you already arguing? And why are you barring the... whatever. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears, Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Vent, Sourback looming over her, or both. Your lordship. Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute, their subordinates following suit a moment later. You can give the assault unit permission to open fire. What's the situation? My people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigative unit, and what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate. This simply calls for immediate repressions and firing squads. And you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. We encountered some locals on our way here. Their conduct was outrageous. They even tried throwing things at us. Vent's gaze is full of worry and regret. The people are getting desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit, and they decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Captain. It is outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We will deal with them once the current situation is resolved. I want to speak to the strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Hope gleams in Lieutenant Vent's eyes. Let's be calm now, he says as I save. As I do a little save.
Keep your wits about you.
I really like all the moral questions in this game. It's, I don't know, it's really interesting. Now this is the kind of moral questioning I like to see. A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks, and you take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation. From the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd, an elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Captain, you have come down to us. Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole bays for a week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. No. Grizz says, I got me some chocolate milk and it's making me moan and groan. Grizz, did you check the expiration on that milk? You put it in the fridge once you got it, right? That man just gave himself food poisoning. He's gonna be on the toilet all night. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks, and who grew up amidships and has no fellow feeling toward us. The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. We're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder, we went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace, without being harassed. Let's see. Grizz says it's brand new. I'm just lactose sensitive and already had a hurt tummy. Why did you drink chocolate milk if you already had a sore stomach? Well, You know, it's nice for a cleanse every once in a while. You know, maybe it'll be good for you. Crusader says, "Oh, he's trying to tolerate it. All right." Tolerate the... Wait. What? Oh. Tolerate the, lactose tolerant. Instead of lactose intolerant, he's lactose tolerant. It's okay. You know, sometimes the best lessons are the ones that we learn from experience. He says, still refusing to drink Miralax on a regular basis. Let's see. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say. I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The Gyuga they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not, and if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And as for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Okay, nobody tell me, but I have a feeling that the amulet they found is from that guy that I told to hide the amulet. I don't remember if I told Abelard to just hang on to the amulet. I remember telling someone to hold on to an amulet. And I think that might be creating the problem. I mean, nobody tell me, but... And Appy's gonna call it early, need some sleep, talk to you later. Alright, Appy. Have a wonderful sleep. Good night, Appy-chan. Good night. Oh yeah, those boots really were fine. And there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. And when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor. The same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch-enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? And Crusader says goodnight to Appy. How sweet of you. So kind. We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I'd had my third little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Abelard, do you have anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos Worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken... stevedores? They are the enemy, and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Sourback, was it really necessary to torture these people with cold? The rabble understands only one language, Captain, that of violence. As per regulations, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they are the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear. We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here. Like that one there. Sorry. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here. Like that one there that the lieutenant won't get past. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. What changes do you want? Would you look at this? The captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damn enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? But before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist bodies, and we'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there are any more of these damn amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared to speak out. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Thoughts, Abelard? The story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling, and possibly becoming minions of the Arch-Enemy. We must not give them what they want. Even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity, that does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I have seen it before. Abelard's face darkens momentarily. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and his whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only the pocket knife. which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal-choking vine. So, when it comes to scavengers, malcontents, strikers, or whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple. Give them no quarter. Master-at-Arms, where do you stand? Give the rabble a grox, and they will take an agri world, Captain. They only understand brute force, and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be folly. It would only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands. I'm gonna try coercion. Spreading anarchy on this ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we will consider the rest. Coercion test succeeded. The tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts a sidelong look at the old woman. Old Nan, listen, listen! The captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now is no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old Nan. The 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction. You two are ganging up on me. Is that it? So brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great. Just fantastic. Captain, we're all agreed. You can still be like, nah, I don't trust you guys. I'm just gonna kill you all. With this bottom one. This bottom one is so whack. Then it's decided. The persecution will stop. I will expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. Your lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Oh, they took fuel and provisions. Of course, your lordship will root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers. We'll leave no stone unturned. Okay. Well, not bad. I kind of missed what was said. Something about Bedlam. But yeah, that
Let us see what I found.
turned out better than I thought it would. This page is where the start of each shift is marked, and the last mark is missing. The workers went on strike. I feel that... Oh, what is that? Manometer?
That's how it's done.
The gauge shows that the steam pressure in this pipe is close to the maximum. However, it has now reached the bars at the other or something. What is this? The heatsink warms the air around it to a scorching temperature. This is the warmest part of the bay. The workers have even dragged desk chairs here. Okay. Well, you know what's interesting? There was this this game reminds me a lot of Wasteland 3. In Wasteland 3, you're given the option to when you first start the game, you take over a prison, and the prison becomes your main base. But there's one little problem. There's a guy that's already stuck in the prison, and you don't know what he's in there for. You don't know why he's there. I think he was saying that he's like innocent or doesn't deserve to be there. He's asking to be let out. And you have zero evidence about why he was there. And
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
What the heck? And that decision, you have to make the decision really early on in the game. And that decision has consequences later in the game. So, with that being said, it kind of makes me wonder if maybe this is another one of those cases, you know? I make a decision really early on. Like, say I gave the lower deck weapons, it turns out they're all cultists, and then they uprise later in the game, you know? I think so far, we've come to a good resolution, I feel. Because at least if they uprise later, they're not more armed than they would have been otherwise, you know? At least if they revolt, I didn't give them weapons, so. Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companions, saying, "I have an urgent matter to discuss with the captain. Please give us a moment." Abelard looks at you, and his last vestiges of restraint vanish. "Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Captain? You keytoed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them in with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. I will not tolerate this dissent from you, Abelard." I mean, maybe he's right, I don't know. I wouldn't say they see me as a weak leader, but I guess my thought is that even if they did uprise, we could take care of it, you know? If they all turn heretic, I mean, it's not good, but you know what I mean? It's like if I guess from my perspective, I see it as like the lower deck. Are they harboring heretics? I don't know. Probably not. There's a possibility, but I don't need to wipe them out. You know? Let's say they do turn heretic. Later on, I can just wipe them out. You know? But wiping them out after they turn heretic, to me, is essentially the same thing as wiping them out before they turn heretic. You know? It's like, ultimately, the lower deck isn't more armed than they were before. I came down to talk to them. They obey, they don't obey. Abelard was going to kill him anyways. So either this turns out well for me, or we kill him anyways, which is what was going to happen with Abelard to begin with. So, to me, it's like, there's no real loss here, to me. You know? Even if we have to kill the whole lower deck, it's still the same outcome that Abelard was going to do in the first place. You know? That, whatever, it's fine. So I wouldn't say, do they see me as a weak leader? To me, that's not that relevant. Like, maybe they do, I don't know. Not really relevant. To me, we're keeping workers, we're giving them a chance to turn things around. If they don't, and they turn heretic, they're gonna get slaughtered anyway. They were gonna get slaughtered if I didn't come down here. It's either good or the same thing as it was ever gonna be, so it doesn't, to me, this doesn't really matter. So. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valancius Protectorate? I don't think blaming Abelard is right. I mean... There is some truth to your criticism. I should say so. Abelard heaves a sigh, but he visibly relaxes. You simply needed to trust me. Oh, wow, welcome into CRT Dream Gaming, raiding with a party of 20. Thank you for the raid, thank you! Welcome in, everyone. It is me, the Taku Tetra, playing Rogue Trader. CRT Dream Gaming, have you come from Rogue Trader as well? Oh, K. Scott sent you. Wow. Wow! Amazing. Thank you, K. Scott. Thank you, CRT. And thank you to Cartomant for the follow. Thank you. Oh, you were playing Mario Sunshine? That is quite the game change. Hold on. Let me shout out CRT Dream Gaming. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follows. And I shouted you out too. At all of my folk, please follow CRT. 120 sprites is hard. What is 120 sprites? And this looks cool though. Is it a CRPG? Why, yes. You have stumbled upon CRPG. It's by the makers of I think it's like Pathfinder Kingmaker or something. This takes place in the Warhammer universe. To catch you guys up on what's happening, basically we're in charge of a ship. There was an uprising on the lower decks. The workers are upset because our second in command thinks that there's a heretic down here and is mass punishing the lower deck because he suspects that there's heresy afoot. So we came down to the lower deck. The lower deck is basically like, well, we didn't do anything, but your second in command is terrorizing us. So we came to the ultimate conclusion that he'll stop terrorizing the lower deck. And now our second in command is chewing us out because he doesn't agree that we peacefully resolve the situation. But yes, heresy. But yeah, if you guys aren't into Warhammer, sounds like 40k, all right. I only fairly recently got into 40k. I'm more of a Metal Gear guy myself. But 40k it's been pretty fun. I love Gears of War and Metal Gear Solid, but Gears of War hasn't really had a major release since 5. And I saw Space Marine 2 was coming out, and I was super excited about that, so I started getting into Space Marine, and then from Space Marine I jumped into other Warhammer stuff. I do Dark Tide as well. So yeah, now I'm a 40k guy. Ever so slowly. But yes, welcome into Dr. Pagan. Welcome in. But Metal Gear Solid is 10 out of 10. I'm glad you agree. Metal Gear, I'm so excited for Metal Gear Solid 3 coming out in August, I believe. 3 is my favorite, I think. I gotta think about that. I think 3 is my favorite. And I think Peace Walker is a close second. And thank you for the follow, Dr. Pagan. Thank you. Yeah. 3 is actually the one you haven't beaten. Which ones have you beat? I got started with Metal Gear Solid 4. The worst place to start, by the way. Nobody else do that. But I started with Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PS3 because my uncle just had that game. And 4 was so good, dude. And then I went back and I played all the other ones. But 1, 2, 4, and 5, very nice. And you think your first was 2? If I may, my recommendation, 3 is amazing. Peace Walker is essential. 5 makes no sense if you didn't play 3 in Peace Walker. Peace Walker seems like it's non-essential. But Peace Walker is absolutely essential to play 5. To me, 5 doesn't make any sense without Peace Walker. 2, honestly, 2 is my least favorite. Sorry, but I'm gonna be honest. I think that the whole AI stuff at the end of 2 was very profound and did a lot of predicting of the future, I feel. I think that part ages very well. The thing I don't like about 2, I like the tanker, I don't like the big shell. To me, the big shell was kind of whatever. To me, all the Metal Gears have like good locations and like fun places to play. But the big shell to me was just like, it was like going through like warehouses with bridges in between. I wasn't a big fan of the big shell. But I mean, the two's gameplay was fun though. The only reason I rank 2 so low is because of the big shell. The tanker was like top tier. But Peace Walker sets up 5. I watched a bunch of videos of Peace Walker, but never got it. I'm really hoping that... I heard a rumor that if the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake goes well, that they would consider remaking them in timeline order. So I'm really hoping for Peace Walker to be next. I think that would be really fun. Really fun co-op game. But I'm also hoping for Peace Walker in Volume 2 of the Master Collection. But yeah. Wouldn't be surprised, honestly, Konami sitting on a gold mine. I agree. I didn't like Konami. I didn't like Konami after 5. 5, I kind of soured me on Konami, but they're getting it back together. Dr. Pagan says, I got Peace Walker on the PSP. You too? I did as well. It was like, I think that has to be my favorite PSP game of all time. And it's really amazing how much content was stuffed into Peace Walker. Just being that, I mean, it's a PSP title, but that really could have been like a main console title with the amount of content. And CRT had Acid on PSP. I think Acid's the one I didn't play. Out of all like the... No, I guess I didn't play Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. I think I tried to play a little bit of Metal Gear 1. I couldn't finish it. It was just too dated for me. I think I tried Metal Gear 1. Metal Gear 2, I don't think I played. I didn't play Acid 1 or Acid 2. I did play Portable Ops and Portable Ops Plus, though. So, and I guess there's like a Game Boy one I didn't play either. CRT says, I almost bought a refurbished PSP the other day. Had to hold myself back. I have actually been, like... I don't know what it is, but I've been craving playing on my PSP. But I know that it's not going to be as good as I remember it. Because... Oh, also, this is a PSA, but if you have a PSP, you have to get rid of the battery. Those have been turning, like... The batteries have been, like, getting puffy. You gotta toss those. Or at least inspect your PSP. Because my PSP had that. All I need to do is just buy a new battery. But I know it's not going to be the same, you know? Oh, and Dr. Pagan's going to go to sleep. Good night, Dr. Pagan. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us today. Hope to see you again. But Acid was a weird turn-based card game. Yeah. I've never been a turn-based card game kind of guy, but, you know, I don't know. I just love Metal Gear, so. The 3 remake, I'm so excited for. I'm waiting for... Oh, and CRT is going to go grab something to eat, but will be lurking. I hope you enjoy your lurk, and I hope you enjoy your food. And thank you again for the raid. Thank you, thank you. I'm hoping for August to come quickly. There's so much stuff happening this month. There's so much stuff. On Wednesday, we've got the Stellar Blade release. Later this month, we have Death Stranding 2. I think there's something else releasing this month. I think July has something releasing, and then August is Metal Gear Solid 3. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry. Back to the game. Where were we? I should say so. Abelard heaves a sigh, but he visibly relaxes. You simply need to trust me. I'm still not on Abelard's side, though. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene, Abelard says, irascibly. Remember Captain Theodora? Do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to the grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and a rogue trader ought. All these responses I don't fully agree with. I guess one I agree with the most. It's not so much that I disagree with Abelard, but like I was saying, I think that if we need... This is kind of wild, but if we need to kill the lower deck, it's fine. Abelard was going to kill them anyway. So, either we resolve the situation or what Abelard wanted in the first place is going to happen. So, it doesn't matter. You know? Like, I understand that he's like, oh, you shouldn't step down here, but it doesn't matter. You know? Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new captain aboard this ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. Abelard looks at you, stunned, and exhales loudly. Then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And, Abelard stands straight at attention, I lost my temper, Captain, and I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily to him. The prosperity of the Von Valancius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw Captain Theodora's deeds, the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds, they create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders, and then suddenly, everything that had been built over the years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Those are some big words, Abelard. Let me read these to myself, so I don't need to read them all. Hold on. So I don't need to read them all out loud. Hmm. I'm kind of between 1 and 2. I think... I'm more on 2. I understand, but you need to learn to respect me as your new captain and a rogue trader. Accept it, and start living in the new world. A world where Theodora is gone, and where you and I have new decisions to make. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Captain. After a moment's silence, he adds, looking at you with interest, your resolve is admirable, and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now please, let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places.
I always have a backup plan.
Not as bad as I thought it would be. Not bad at all. I mean, not that... yeah, pretty good. I was gonna say, not that good either, but no, that was about as good as it could have gone. Alright, let me level up the whole gang. Why can't I... That's the wrong button. Yeah. Alright, we're making some pretty good progress leveling up. We're almost like halfway. Damn. Okay. Now this is gonna take a little bit of time. Ooh, if a target is under the effect of voice of command, they gain 12 temporary wounds. That's wild. I think I'll take that one. Yeah, that seems broken. I'll definitely take that. What the hell is a Voidborn character? Am I Voidborn? But actually, yeah. Am I Voidborn? At Crusader? Do you know if I'm Voidborn? I don't know what that means. I'm assuming I'm Voidborn. That's probably what that means. Yeah. I'll do that. Okay. Damn it, I keep forgetting that Cassia is also an officer. Crusader says, Voidborn are those that were brought into this world in space, meaning your mother gave birth to you in a void ship. Ah! Thank you. Okay, I don't know where that is. Oh yeah, there we go. Homeworld is Voidborn. Yeah, okay. If you have a home planet, they aren't Voidborn. Ah, thank you, thank you. Here I am, Voidborn. I forgot I was considered Voidborn. Thank you, thank you. Let's do that. That seems broken. Oh, wait, no, this is broken. Every enemy the navigator has in their line of sight has its dodge and hit chance reduced by 5. Yeah. I like that. Okay, and we can do higher ballistic. I'm not even gonna think about that one. I'm just gonna do it. Damn. Sorry, just a moment while I read. Dude, it's so hot. I don't know why it's so hot today. Like, I got the AC on and everything, and I can feel the sweat just forming on my back. Maybe I have a sunburn. No idea. Damn. Sorry, there's so many. There's so many things, man. I don't know if I want to specialize on a weapon first, though. I don't know enough about weapons to do that. Oh, allowing the wearing of heavy armor would be pretty cool. Oh, prerequisite of 45 strength, though. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Not yet. Let's grant a dodge bonus. Nope. What? What? Am I losing my mind? What? I can't select this. Crusader says if you have... Oh, well, I read that one. Grizz says, you guys ever just want your head smashed between some thighs? Maybe. No comment. Maybe. Is that what you're thinking about, Grizz? Is that what's in a Grizz's mind tonight? Is that how you feel on the inside? What? Oh! That's why it wasn't working. Okay, I see. I couldn't select the ballistic. That's why. Okay. Now I understand. Alrighty. Crusader says, dude, I just want her to like me. But I'll choose something attainable like choking. This man... I'll choose something attainable. Insane. Genuine derangement going on. Some tatted up thighs, bro. Pop my head like a balloon. This guy. You guys need some water. You guys need a little bit of water. Just a little relaxation, you know? Something to quench the thirst, you know? A little prune juice, mayhaps. Perfect spot sounds really good. But it's not like our weapon skill is that high. Dude, this equation is whack. Who made this? For the next attack against a target affected by an exploit. Okay, that... I need the target affected by exploit, so already this is kind of useless, but... That target's cover efficiency will be reduced by minus 15 plus perception bonus divided by 3. So 15 plus 55 divided by 3. We'll just round to 54 to make an easy 18. Right. I know it's 55, but... Well, actually, no, it's 60 now, technically. So if I move it up to 60, then that's 15 plus 20, so that's 35. Times the stacks of exploit. Which if you exploit 3 times, that's almost 100. This attack will have plus 15 plus 20, so 35 times stack of exploit. It's kind of broken, actually. Never mind. This attack's really good. This attack is amazingly good, but it requires exploit. That's the problem. I'm not... Actually, no. I think I might have an exploit talent on the other tree. Never mind. It's all good. Just, oh. Just increase awareness. It's fine. Okay. Let's see. Grizz over here like, I have a dream. I have chocolate milk. And ice cold Dr. Pepper has saved my sanity so many times. Ah! Dr. Pepper guy, are we? I used to love Dr. Pepper, but then I became I used to love Dr. Pepper, but then I became a root beer guy. I'm very much like, of all the sodas, if I have a choice, I'm going to pick root beer. It doesn't matter what brand, I'm just going to pick the root beer. I just love the root beer. I don't know why. Crusader says, these types of feats are really nice when you have multiple characters that can stack exploits. Psychers like your Navigator and an upcoming character that I like are very nice to have this on. Let me check. Because I think I have... Okay, that's not it, but... I could have sworn I had some kind of, Oh! Whoops. My bad. I was like, wow, we're leveling so quick. We're almost done. We're almost done with tier 1. We're almost halfway to tier 1, and then we have tier 2 and tier 3. So yeah, we unlocked this at level 36, and we're nowhere close to that, so okay. I was like, damn, this game must be pretty short if it's... Never mind. That's crazy. Anywho. I gotta check my skill tree. Voice of command? Oh no, these are... Sorry, these buff myself, my bad. I don't know why I thought I was debuffing somebody else, but I should focus on exploit skills going forward. At least one on my team. Let's go with toughness, since Abelard is going to be right up on people all the time. And... Brace for impact. Gain an extra turn with 0 AP and 3 MP and increase their cover efficiency by 20% for 1 round. Can only use movement. Heroic acts are... Oh, okay. I was gonna say, this is broken, but no. Can only use movement abilities, heroic acts, and desperate measures. That's kind of whatever. It's like, it is a little useful, but it's pretty, like, circumstantial. So, let's see. Dr. Pepper with a hint of root beer. I don't know. I don't know. I love root beer. Love it, love it, love it. Root beer is my favorite. Um, Hold on, sorry, I know this is taking a while. Give me just a moment. Real characters. Huh. Sure. I'll take that. Alright. Sorry, huge detour in the game for a bit. But, making some good progress. Alrighty. Let's see what we can accomplish with the remainder of our time today. Oh, another thing. I'm going to talk about this week's schedule. So, I made some changes to this week's schedule. Here's the plan. Wednesday is going to be Animal Crossing. Now, here's the tough part. I was going to do Animal Crossing on Friday, but I'm going to give Repo one more shot. But I don't want to get rid of either for this week. So Wednesday is planned to be Animal Crossing. Community Animal Crossing. So if any of you guys want to play Animal Crossing with me, that's open to whoever wants to join on Wednesday. On Friday, it's going to be Repo again. Friday might be the last Repo that I do on the channel. I'm just thinking of moving on to other things. So Friday should be the final Repo. Saturday is going to be more Rogue Trader. And I do want to do more Rogue Trader just generally. I kind of wish that Wednesday was Rogue Trader, but due to it just not quite fitting into the schedule, it's going to have to wait till Saturday. But Wednesday will be Animal Crossing. So keep that in mind. If any of you are interested in joining Animal Crossing, definitely have your Switches ready for Wednesday. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to click there. Oh! Okay, we're finally landing on Rykad Minoris. Begin the scan, Abelard. What the hell is that? Okay. Just bring everybody, I don't care. We could bring one more, technically, but... Oh, dude, it is hot. I might have to take another shower. It's so hot. What the hell is happening here? Do you know you're firing upon the rogue trader? The starport greets you with the din of ordnance, and the smell of explosive tickles your nostrils. It is difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Halt! Weapons on the ground or I'm firing! A man in a torn and dirty uniform hobbles toward you from behind the chunks of rockcrete and crumpled plasteel. His cracked helmet is adorned with a crooked label that reads Sergeant Malgar. Abelard, announce my arrival. I've seen that meme, I'm waiting for the choice. Alright, so our skies are in lockdown, the rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you lot just happen to land in our rear without a scratch to show for it. And on a shuttle like that? Where did you get it? Stolen from the palace, isn't it? He is visibly awed by the resplendent gold of your transport. Grab 'em, lads. We've got ourselves a rebel landing force. Abelard turns purple. By the holy throne, what is this mess? Adira glances around. They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. Abelard, enlighten this rabble about the proper meaning of greeting the God Emperor's chosen. Abelard clears his throat. You stand before rogue trader von Valancius. You ignorant worm! Snap to attention this instant and give his lordship a formal report. With a mixture of awe and terror, he snaps to attention, raises his freshly cut chin like an exemplary soldier, and barks, My mistake, sir. At once. The starport is under the control of the governor's wardens. Perimeter commander is Sergeant... What? A frag grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing screech. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his forearm that is now adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you. Pardon me, sir. Sergeant Las Malgar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? What is going on here? Unrest, sir. Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First, the lower levels sparked. Then it went up the spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, the mag train stations. Then Felek tore off his mask. Precisely because he knew about the trouble on Rykad Minoris. He knew that none of our allies would come to our aid. Cassia lets out a sorrowful sigh. You may continue your report, peasant. Cassia. Continue your report, peasant. Sorry, we got a little distracted. My unit was here when it all went to the Groxes. The tech priests linked our two satellites, reported sightings of strange void ships in the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Rykad Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures and ordered to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden details. The alarm was raised and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. They're crushing us. The scumbags. Oh, They're crushing us because we're late. It's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in. We're running low on ammo. Every other fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is in the streets, but they'll drive us out of here any minute. You can just pat him on the shoulder. Good job, little sergeant. Who are you, anyway? Sergeant Las Malgar, sir. 11th generation loyal soldier of House Winterscale. Awarded 3 commendations for faultless service. Ever since the olden days, his lordship, the rogue trader, has recruited soldiers and shipwrights on Rykad Minoris. So there is no greater honor for a Rykadian than serving his lordship with diligence. What caused this rebellion? Ill thoughts, sir. We've fallen on hard times. The ground keeps shaking, things keep exploding, the people are scared, they've forgotten all about their duty. And that's when those, Emperor, forgive me, creatures came. They started riling everyone up. Sure enough, we shot a few, but they just kept coming. More and more of them. How can some pathetic rebellion be... Oh, I don't want to read that one. This one's wild. How can some pathetic rebellion be cause enough for such a lackluster welcoming ceremony in honor of the rogue trader's arrival? It is an insult. We'll just pat him on the shoulder. Pat, pat. You are doing fine work, Malgar. And so are your troops. It is people like you that hold the Imperium together. I live to serve! The sergeant's grim voice rings with a martyr's pride. Well... do you happen to know if a member of the Inquisition has come here? At the word Inquisition. The sergeant's face fills with awe. I don't know, sir. There definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire at the headquarters, your lordship, sir. I'm gonna go see the governor. If I may report, sir, as long as the rebels keep shooting their damn anti-aircraft battery, there is absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It would have to be on foot, and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send with you as an escort. I have assigned all available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. I will voxcast orders for them to wait for you. And I'll inform headquarters they better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we will follow the governor's orders and hold the line here. Idira frowns as her gaze grows distant, as if she is looking through the sergeant. You're a good soldier, but you've got a lot of blood on your hands, both yours and others'. You know, the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets won't save you from the bitterness. Strange word. Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head around these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight till my last drop. Is the path ahead dangerous? What exactly awaits me there? The sergeant sighs heavily. All of our roadblocks are gone. The whole place is in the rebels' hands. The city is almost lost, so no help will come. We are surrounded by rebels. And watch your steps, sir. The streets are chock full of mines. Logic test succeeded. His remark about mines lodges itself in your memory. More than anything, you will need to watch the ground and not your surroundings. You'd rather risk a shot from a rebel or a jittery soldier than experience a few handfuls of lethal frag shrapnel resting on top of some 300 grams of explosive physaline. What, Tech Priest? A very important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before they locked down the sky. He kept on asking whether anyone by the name of Amarant or Amarnet or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions, though, said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. He demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay. You're a good soldier, Malgar. I will see that your heroism is noted. The sergeant blushes slightly. I live to serve. Oh. Hold on, I think my model needs resetting. That should be better. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he turns to his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands. Okay, rumors. On your travels, you will hear many rumors. Those of them that are deserving of the rogue trader's attention are logged in a separate section of the journal. Sometimes rumors are just that. Other times there is truth to them. And in some cases, there may be even more. To verify a rumor, travel to the place indicated in the rumor's description. While traversing the Cronus Expanse as the rogue trader, you are bound to hear rumors regarding your own deeds and exploits, some of which reflect the reaction of the Expanse's denizens to choices you have made. Cool. Very cool. Okay. I'm getting more into my groove of reading lately. Let's see what we can find. I'm gonna take this guy's stuff, because I can.
May his light harden our hearts. New trials await us in this place.
Argenta...
It's going from bad to worse. I expected a typical dull reception with the governor. Not more carnage.
Carnage for the Emperor! For the Emperor!
Always keep your eye on the price.
Oh, good, there is stuff here. The Grand Viaduct for receiving esteemed guests is buried under the rubble. A little backpack over here. Free stuff! Okay. Now I'm not quite sure where to go yet, but I imagine there's only one way, so... And I don't think there's anything more to talk... Yeah. There's nothing more to talk to Malgar about. Man, this reminds me so much of Wasteland 3, man. This whole area looks like the beginning area.
I'll make
Oh.
an example out of you.
We're in combat now. Cassia is an officer and your ship's navigator. She strikes foes with energies of the warp and supports the party by making her allies stronger. Voice of Command is an officer's ability that increases an ally's characteristics for 1 round and also allows the officer to use their other officer archetype abilities on that ally from any distance. What? The higher the officer's fellowship bonus is, the more the target's characteristics are increased. An officer can use Voice of Command again on the same ally only after 2 rounds have passed since its first application. Bring It Down is an officer ability that lets them immediately pass a turn to an ally. The ally does not gain any movement points for this extra turn, but they do gain a number of action points depending on the officer's fellowship bonus. If the ally is under the effect of Voice of Command and destroys an enemy before the end of the officer's turn, the ally will be granted extra momentum for this kill. Live the Stare is a unique damaging ability that assails all targets in a wide cone in front of the navigator with warp energies. The damage dealt is based on the navigator's willpower bonus. All creatures targeted by this ability must pass a willpower resistance test or become stuck. Okay, sorry, a lot of dialogue there. Let's, wow, there's a lot. There's a lot of enemies in here. Let's, I'll make myself and Cassia backliners for now. Oh. Wait, no, that kind of sucks. I'll put Abelard forward. This is a great combo for making Abelard a murder bot. That's honestly what I'm kind of trying to do. I'm finding that it's just... it's so easy to buff Abelard to just make him like resistant to like everything. He can like buff himself to be like parry and defense and whatever, and then we can keep like giving him more and more turns. I have the feeling that Abelard will be easy to make pretty broken over time. Pretty broken. Okay, Crusader says, doing voice of command on Abelard, then having Abelard do his momentum move, allowing him to run super far and major damage is awesome. So true.
Let's get to it.
The unrighteous have come to take all that we have from us. Let's stand united, my brethren. Damn! I got hit immediately. Wow. Okay, well. I wasn't expecting that, but Argenta... Oh, Argenta can hit from here. Okay, that position doesn't make any sense. Can you fire from here? No. Okay, this doesn't really make sense because she really shouldn't be able to see. But I'll suspend my disbelief. Oh, it's only once per combat. Okay, we'll just move her there and we'll just have her shoot.
Enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Shoot Argenta. Not bad. Not bad. We need to work on Argenta's accuracy. I mean, she hit that time, but she doesn't always hit.
Why did I not foresee this?
Dang. I'm getting messed up. I'm a little hesitant. I want to have everybody like move up into cover before I rush forward, because I'm not really sure how everybody's gonna move. And my worry is that if I move Abelard out too quick, then I might, like if I start attacking this guy, for example, I'm worried that they're gonna start gravitating this way, and I'm gonna be stuck in no man's land for a bit, or just stuck here. So I'll just wait a little bit. I'll play it safe for now. This one can only be used once per combat. Navy officer and allies within 3-cell radius. It's not that good. I'll just I'll wait a little bit and then I'll move forward. I don't want to move forward just yet.
Victory is imminent.
Abelard, that was pretty bad.
Yeah. Onward.
Don't fight.
Out of the way. Pain and duty go hand in hand.
We're not doing so good. Oh wait, no, my bad. For some reason I thought Cassia took that damage. It was this guy. Okay, well, oh, analyze enemies is what gives exploits. I don't know why that was so
Will do.
strange. But this is good. Because... oh no. It's 5. What? 5 divided by 3. Whatever. It's fine. I'm gonna protect Cassia. Abelard can handle himself. I'll protect Cassia. And then I'll kind of move up a little bit. Cassia is where I want to be standing. All allies in a circle with 5 cells gain 1 resolve until end of combat. Every additional stack of this effect increases resolve bonus by 2. Yeah.
It's as good as done.
Good.
I'll see to it personally.
So we'll buff Cassia again. This time with the voice of command. And then we will 10 temporary wounds for Cassia. I don't know how strong Cassia is. I mean, we can kind of see it, but I want to make sure that since Cassia is frontlining, that she has all the buffs she could possibly get. I'm a little afraid to shoot this one because I don't know if I'll hit. I missed, so whatever.
Let's get to
Oh.
Let's get to it.
I want to blast away, but I don't want to hit this guy. I mean, he'll probably be dead soon at this rate. Yeah, this one's rough. All creatures in a cone in front of the navigator suffer 10 to 20 damage. If I do that, that guard takes damage. What? Why does this Staff of House Orcelio only have... What? Oh. Excuse me, I was gonna say, this sucks. Yeah, this is, just a melee weapon, but thankfully she also has gun. I don't know how or why, or who trained Cassia with the gun, but I mean, I'll take it, I guess. Cassia used a gun. It was not very effective. Alright, Abelard, kill him. Cut off their balls, Abelard. Damn. Okay.
Indeed.
Looking good. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay.
Let's make it quick.
I need to start making choices quicker. Otherwise, this fight's gonna be really long. Oh, we can still shoot. Wow.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Damn, not bad.
I'll brace yourself, Abelard. Temporary setback.
This has to be the most enemies I've seen on screen at once in this game so far. I think I'll move up, and then I'll just have Abelard slice this guy. Because Abelard's got a lot of temporary health, so... Should be alright, and they should be focusing on this guy anyway, so...
It will be done.
Yeah. Give yourself more temporary wounds. Crusader says, yeah, her staff is pretty bad for a fight. I pillaged Idira's stuff for Cassia, because in my first ever fight, Idira got a concussion and nearly died. Ah, I see. Yeah, I want Idira's staff to be on Cassia. Cassia seems more of like a front line than Idira. I guess they're about the same. I have a lot more Psychers on the team than I expected. I didn't expect there to be this many Psychers, because I'm Psycher, Idira's Psycher, Cassia's a Psycher. Had I known that, I probably would have just picked like gun person or something. But it might work out for the best. I don't know.
I will do my duty.
I'll just do this. Brace for impact. Okay, we can't hit them yet. Okay, and I have a feeling this guy is gonna shoot Abelard, so I'm gonna tag him. So that I get an action point if he tries to kill me.
Show me what you've got.
Okay, well I wasn't expecting that one. Thankfully... Dang! Thankfully that wasn't my kill. Still kind of wild though. They're really just killing their own guys. They're spray firing so hard they're killing their own guys. Insane. Okay. I wanted Idira to move closer, but I guess there's not a lot that can be done. I'll exploit the Bruiser. I'll shriek from a million miles away at this guy. Not bad. That was a lot more powerful than I thought it would be. But Crusader says, I went with the soldier class and ended up with an overwhelming barrage of firepower because of how many soldiers I had. Abelard and I became the only few to survive in a sword fight later on. Very nice. I look forward to it. I hope that my tactics skills translate into this game, because I love tactics games. I played XCOM 2. XCOM 2 is among one of my favorite games of all time. But I'm a big fan of, well, Wasteland 3, I've already brought up. I played a bit of Divinity and Baldur's Gate. I never finished either one. But what's that one game? Gears Tactics. I don't know if any of you have played Gears Tactics, but do not underestimate that game. That game, it's like a spin-off game, but it might as well have been a mainline title. That game is good. For a tactics game, that is top tier. You have to play really smart. If you play on normal, you have to play really smart, and you can just barely get away with the missions. I don't know who fine-tuned that game, but it's so intense and so well made. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting distracted, but we'll just end Idira's turn. I gotta pee, man, in real life. I don't want to stop playing, though.
On it. Your end was
Got him.
inevitable.
Okay, I want to see...
Cells
Damn,
makes a
Abelard.
bad idea.
Can't do that for Abelard. I wonder if Cassia...
I won't compromise
Nope.
my principles. Who, if not me?
I'll just push Abelard. Gain even more
see to it
temporary wounds,
personally.
Abelard. Dude, I'm buffing the hell out of Abelard right now.
I'll make it happen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I kind of want to move up, but Abelard's in the way. There's no cover. Aside from where Abelard's standing. Okay.
It will be done.
Damn. I need more movement.
If only that were possible.
Okay.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Damn. I should have hit with 3. Nah, I'll just leave Argenta up there. We'll move her later.
My ears are ringing. Quick.
Once again, they killed their own guy. That's crazy. Absolutely baffling. They've done it so many times already.
Victory is imminent.
I can't believe that worked.
Indeed.
Get him. Let's go! Damn, 1 hit. He's kind of standing out in the open now, though, but I don't think they could hit anyways. There are perks in Abelard's tree later down the line that give him extra movement in his ult, allowing him to run across the entire map at times. Excited. The only problem with Abelard right now is that he needs movement. This guy needs some movement. Oh, I think I buffed to maximum temporary. Surely.
I'm not interested.
Oh, damn.
I must not falter.
This guard, man. I'm impressed.
Just a minor setback.
I am very impressed by this guard. Okay. Okay, never mind. The moment I talk about how impressed I am, dead. He's gone. Well, it was a good run while it lasted, you know? It's a good run while it lasted. I don't think anyone can hit Adira from this far, so I'm just gonna move Adira up. And hope for the best. Okay. I'm gonna move myself up as well.
I don't need luck. I have strategy. I refuse. On it.
Push Adira, I guess?
I'll see to it personally.
Yeah. And you can't move either. Okay, well.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I don't really know what to do with that turn, so.
It's as good as done.
Oh, I should have done voice of whatever. I don't. It's fine. Anyways, let's move Cassia up. Too bad there's no Overwatch yet in this game.
That is foolishness. I'm afraid not.
Okay.
If only that were possible. Do not dare
Damn.
ask.
Okay, we'll just leave this. And I'm gonna move Argenta up.
Guided by
Argenta's
faith.
not really doing anything.
Hold on.
Damn. Okay. I'm going for it. Cut off his
I will
balls.
do my best. I took care of this one. At your beck and call.
Abelard is so broken. I love it. Okay. I'm surprised this isn't considered cover, but it's fine. I'm just generally gonna move closer and hope for the best.
Anything else?
Can I shriek? No, I can't shriek that far. Okay, well. Let's just move up for now.
Who, if not me? On it. I won't stand for it.
Not bad. Alright, Cassia, time to move up again. This is a terrible cover, though. Oh, but Cassia can hit from this far. Oh, let's go.
Step aside. The
Do it, do it,
navigator
do
is
it.
coming. Face the navigator's might.
That's so broken. Let's go.
That is foolishness.
Okay.
If only that were possible. I'm afraid not. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Poor Argenta, doing almost nothing all combat. Big warp move. Thank you, Crusader. I try. I'm really proud of that one. It's just too bad this one guy was just one block away.
My prescience has failed me.
He was one block away from getting smoked. Too bad.
My place is at the fore.
Okay, let's just rush this guy.
What is this foreboding?
I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna rush him.
Taking calculated risk is in my second nature.
What? See that? I think this guy's dead, but he's standing up straight. It's very strange. Anyways. Okay, if I move here, I can shoot.
Of military tactics. I'm not accustomed. Try to die with grace, at least.
Now that was surprising. I don't know how that many shots managed to connect from Cassia, but we did it. Woo! I gotta save before the game crashes. But alright, we did it. Wow. There's a lot of gear. There's a lot of gear indeed. I like that you don't need to search every body, though. That's pretty cool. If I had to search every body, I think I'd go insane. Crusader says he is definitely dead. I've come across a small visual glitch that allows the dead to stand up. It looks very funny. Ah, thank you. That explains a lot. At least I know it's not just me. It's very strange. Very strange. But we've done it. Okay. Unfortunately, it is a little past my bedtime. Okay, that's gonna be another 20 minutes. I can feel it. That conversation. So, I'm gonna have to end it here. I really want to play this on Wednesday, but we gotta get some Animal Crossing done on Wednesday. So, once again, the plan for this week, Animal Crossing on Wednesday, open to whoever wants to join. Friday will be the last repo that I do, I think. Saturday will be more Rogue Trader. And I'm super excited for all those things. But yeah, thank you all for joining me today. Thank you, Crusader, for hanging out. Much appreciated. My scribe, appreciate you very much. Let me say all my thank yous. Thank you to Appy, Grizz, Crusader, K. Scott, and thank you to CRT Dream Gaming for the raid. Thank you so much. And thank you to CRT for the follow, Dr. Pagan for the follow, and Cartomat for the follow as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And Crusader says, I hope everyone has a blast. I sadly will be busy Wednesday. No! That's okay. Understandable. But I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Crusader says, good night, everyone. What a cool raid. So cool. I agree. But yeah. If you're still hanging out with us, you like what I do, feel free to give me a follow. I hate saying that, but it is what it is. I will hope to catch you all in the next stream. And let's raid out. I have a new VTuber that I'm getting into. Her name is Radiant Radish. I think we will give a little raid. Stop by. I think that's spelled it right. Okay, have a wonderful time over there, guys, and I will catch you all in the next stream, which will be Wednesday. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. Good night, Crusader. Good night, everyone.
Bye, you cute little banana man. I appreciate you.